The officially unofficial first video of the year. Um, as soon as week one is done, there hasn't been a pre-draft or a post-draft video or a week one preview video. I will probably do a pre-draft or post-draft video maybe a little bit later on. So let me just explain why. So some of you may know I had the opportunity with my company to travel to Jacksonville to help get them ready for the home opener. Just happened to be that the home opener was against the Packers. So I was in Jacksonville for a week. Now, for some of you that may have followed, I had a horrendous time getting to and from Jacksonville. So some of the stories is I was in Minneapolis. I had to wait on a plane for an hour while my pilots were nowhere to be found. And then when my pilots did show up, I had a connecting flight. I was supposed to arrive in Jacksonville at 2:30, but they got me a next flight, so I was going to be there at 3:30. Well, we got up in the air. 15 minutes later, they're like, "Oh, a hydraulic pump went out. Time to go back." So I had to go back to Atlanta, which I think I was closer to Jacksonville than I was Atlanta, and wait another 2 hours for them to fix the plane. Finally arriving in Jacksonville at 6:30 on the travel day. Getting back was much more difficult. I was supposed to leave Jacksonville about 3 o'clock, enter Atlanta about 4, get on my next plane at 7, and arrive in Appleton at 9. Well, my plane in Jacksonville had mechanical issues. Again, seems to be a theme with this. So I had to deboard the plane and wait until 8 o'clock in Jacksonville when they finally were able to fly me to Atlanta. Well, by the time I was taking off in Jacksonville to go to Atlanta, my plane from Atlanta was going to Appleton, and there were no more planes. So I basically had to, when I arrived, they gave me a voucher for a hotel, and I had to spend the night in Atlanta. Then the next available flight to Appleton was 3 p.m. So basically I had to spend an extra day of my time in the greater Atlanta airport area. Well, no big deal. I mean, lost time with family and stuff. That's terrible. So thank you, Delta. What should have taken me 13 hours took me 46. Cheers, Delta. Not making excuses, not saying anything, but that is the reason why there was really no 2 videos, because of that shenanigans and the Badger LSU game, which was crazy. First and foremost, here's Figaro, right here. Probably where he'll be for the rest of the season. So let's get right into it. Here we go. Here is the week 1 review. Here is your week 1 review. Your three-time world champion starts off the season 1-0 with a 155.32 to a 131.36 beatdown of Glorious Domination, who wasn't so dominant nor glorious, falling to 0-1. I had the distinct honor of beating Travis's new name, which was quite surprising at the draft, but overall Travis still leads the series 6-4-1. And the one of 3 Stanzik Bowls, the third one of course coming in the Dumper Bowl playoffs, I drink and I know things. Proves the 1-0 with a 193.74 domination over Far Dollar Footlongs, who falls to 0-1 with 136.62. At least Favre isn't where Jared Fogle is at this point in time. Eric still leads this series 6-2, and I do have to say, Eric, you do drink, but you know no things. Hashtag Tony Romo's Dad Van, where Tony Romo will soon be 1-0 with one of the 3 close games that we had this week, 134.30, defeated, and JV's placeholder falls to 0-1, where it should be 128.40. Man, how close was you, Kyle, to losing to Andy? It must have been nerve-wracking. Andy, all I can keep imagining is the guy from the State Farm commercial with the one, "Ooh, you gotta be quicker than that." Kyle leads the series 7-1. The Dingo AJ Cutler feasted, not by much, but still gets the win, improved 1-0 with a 140.26 to 136.88 victory over Moat of Urine, who now falls to 0-1. Sam J leads the series 6-4. And a man that once always changed his name every week and we had something creative, he's now stuck to this. When will we see something more creative? And John, not that you watch these, but Travis changed his name. I think your time is up next. Google Dog. What the F is a Google Dog? 1-0 with a blow-up fashion, 172.20 over Captain Black Swan, who's 0-1, scored 115.6. Sam B still leads the series 2-1, and I'm pretty sure after this week we're probably going to see a Captain Black Swan name change. So in the battle of the teams, the team in the north wins over the team has no name. Team in the north is 1-0, barely winning, 116.56 to 113.68. This series is now tied 2-2. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it, into our Week 2 preview. Here it is, Week 2 preview. Your three-time world champion is 1-0. Goes against hashtag Tony Romo's dad band, who's also 1-0. Projected score of 132.96 to 124.51. This series is tied 6 apiece. Let's see who's going to get the big advantage going to this 7 wins by getting that 2-0 start. The man who claims I drink and I know things is projected to beat JV's placeholder. Nothing shocking there. 1-0, 0-1, 129.51 to 112.25. Eric leads this series 6-3. I'm already typing up next week's game where I put Eric leads 7-3, because Andy committed some fantasy fouls that we'll talk about later in a new segment. A team has no name and also has no wins, is 0-1, with a will hold a slight lead over $5 footlongs, but after watching the game, Matt Forte may have changed it to a 1-1 and not made it so close. 129.91 to 127.77. This series overall is tied F4 apiece. Folks, you certainly don't see this very often. This is a head scratcher. I mean, you see the closeness of it, 121.21 to 120.27. But what you don't see is Glorious Domination's 0-1 versus Moat of Urine 0-1. Usually two people, powerhouses on the top, now fighting for on the bottom. But lo and behold, no worries, John still holds a commanding 7-3 lead on the series. Waiting for an explanation of what a Google Dog is. I can only imagine it's a dog that goes around and takes pictures for Google. Is going to be 1-0, going against Dingo AJ Cutler, who is also 1-0. Another slim, tight match, 130.59 to 127.40. Again, another 1-0 versus 1-0. These games are very crucial. You can't win week 2, but you can definitely help set yourself up to where in the back half you're not fighting as hard. Dana does lead the series overall 2-0. The team in the north looks like they're going to have a crushing win over Captain Black Swan, who is 0-1. The team in the north 1-0, 149.80 versus 128.62. This series is in favor of Sam B 2-1, but I do have a feeling after next week we're going to see guns out, suns out, guns out, as Captain Black Swan tries to put herself on the right side of the championship match. Well, good luck to everybody in week 2, except for you, Eric. And now let's start looking at projections to see where we're all going to figure out, because we are stat nerds. Here it is again, the projections. Let's just take a quick recap of the preseason after the draft polls. Projected in first place was Dana with a 12-1 record, Kara in second with 9-4, JB at 8-5, and then into the championship bracket, Sam J, Kyle, and Sam B all at 7-6. So we always say, 7 wins should get you to the playoffs. Fortunately, in the preseason projections, it does not always work, as John and Eric will get into the Dumper Bowl bracket with a 7-6. But alas, good news, they finished 7-8, so they get to miss fighting for it. Travis, who we've never seen down here before, with Bob either, at 5-8. Katie, a newcomer to about 3-10 at 11th place, and then of course, as always, projected 1-12. I think it's just always penciled in. At this point, it just might be penned in. So how did everything change after week 1? Well, the top 2 stayed the same. Dana's still 12-1. Kara now is 10-3. Katie though, what a jump! 1 win and now, or 1 loss, but now she's 9-4, moving up 8 spots. Sam J stays at 4 with 8-5. JB and John, for once again, 7 wins gets you in, as we clearly got it there. 7-6. I fall 1 space. John moves up 1 space. Sam B falls out of the championship bracket, but still avoids the dumper with a 6-7. Eric falls a spot, but is still in safe with a 5-8 record. Bob moves up 1, but still 5-8. Needs to get the tiebreak over Eric. Kyle plummets 5 spots. He's 4-9. Whoa. According to this, I beat Travis, and now Travis is projected to get 10 losses at 3-10. We'll see there. He falls 2 spots. And somehow along the way, Andy loses, but Andy's going to get another win. Now projected to go 2-11. Here's a new segment I like to unveil that we'll do every week. It's called Fantasy Profile. We'll basically break down one of you guys and how good you are or not so good. Enjoy. Here it is, our Fantasy Profile. Our number 1 is our number 12, number 18 overall, Andy Coppins. Andy's regular season is 20-61. Give you some hints here. Look at that. I have 53 losses on the next one. Travis has 57 wins. In respect, Jenny is 33, Kara is 22, and Sam B has 19 wins. All in about 3-year spans. They've had just about the same, if not more, wins than Andy. Andy hasn't fared too bad, 3-5 with a 375 record, and the fact that he wins just enough to stay out of the dumper, but he has won it last year. The next worst is Bob at 5-8 with a .35. So, yeah, even though it's the lowest playoff record, Bob's is a little bit worse because Bob can't win the big one. So when we look at overall, he's 23-66. A 2.58% winning percentage. In 11th place in the league right now, Sam J with a .413. He's closer to 500 than Andy's closer to 250. Again, in total complete retrospect, Travis has 65 wins overall. Andy has 66 losses. Awards. Andy's our two-time Dumper Bowl winner. 2010, 2015, and he's been in the Andy Coppins Dumper Bowl participant in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. Folks, what I'm trying to hint at is the reason why it's called the Andy Coppins Dumper Bowl is because Andy Coppins has participated in every single Andy Coppins Dumper Bowl there is. And this year looks no different, as Andy's on his way for his 5th consecutive Andy Coppins Dumper Bowl participant award. Andy's average finish is 11.2 out of 12. Folks, let me break that down. That's 12, 10, 11, 11, 11, 12. 11.2 out of 12. That is insane. Your most wins, Andy, is 5 over me. Most losses is 9 to Travis. And the most matches is a tie between Bob and Travis in 10. Yes, it is sad that I account for just under 20% of Andy's total overall victories. Andy is very awkward around women. And look at these stats. Versus Jenny, he's 0-4. Sam B, 0-3. Kara, 0-3. Dana, 0-1. And Katie, 3-0. That is right, he's 3-14 against females in our league. Sorry, Katie. I know it's a little upsetting to see that you're the only one that he's beaten, and he's done it 3 times. So there you have it, this week's video. Sorry it's a little complicated, but But Figaro and I will see you on the Fantasy Gridiron.